Hi everybody. Um, I wanted to talk about the garden metaphor in Candide and how it can be applied to um, narcissism, recovery from narcissism in particular. Because at the end of the day, it's not about the narcissist, it's about you, how you're going to grow from this experience, how you're going to become a more enlightened person that can inspire other people. And if you're not interested in becoming that person, then this channel is not for you. Um, or it is for you, but in order to really get my message, you need to go through a grieving process. In which case, I recommend you look at my earlier videos or go to gurus that are specialized in talking about the dynamics of narcissism and how these assholes steal your energy stores. Today I'm going to talk about how we replenish our energy stores, and I'm going to talk about it I'm going to make the simple point that you need to do things in order to replenish lost energy. So we refer to narcissists as energy vampires for a reason. It's because they break up the flow of energy, the flow of doing, and the flow of productivity within the human race. Basically, they are skilled at convincing people that don't have boundaries, that can't say no, that they shouldn't do certain things, they shouldn't uh, create things. And they do this because they are not capable of creating themselves. They're not able to harness energy. They're not able to, for one reason or the other, and a lot of it has to do with their lack of motivation and self-esteem, to actually do something in this world. They love to take, to steal. That's their domain, that's their preference. There is nothing you can do to change it, and there will never be anything that you can do to change that. And that's been your hard-earned experience with these assholes. And the first step, of course, to replenishing your energy stores is removing these people from your space and removing people that support them from your space. Because if you've noticed, even the people that are in minimal contact with them, that think that there's nothing wrong with them, still deplete your energy stores. I could make an entire different video about that. But there are auxiliary people. Some of them are aware of the narcissist pathology and they are willing flying monkeys. Some people are just ignorant of these energetic vampires. In ignorance, their ignorance is not your responsibility. Because if you listen to these people, you'll keep getting sucked in to the idea that narcissism is tolerable, narcissism is a way of life, that's life, they're going to be different people, oh well, these sort of ideas that at the end of the day are going to take energy from you instead of investing into yourself and the people that deserve your attention. You're going to keep depleting yourself by trying to convince these people that they are in the wrong, that they are deluded, that they are enmeshed with these people and that they shouldn't be, etc., etc. So energy vampirism is very real because if you've noticed, if you have been in these relationships and you've repeated this cycle, the when you find that new narcissist, when you find that new asshole, the pain of releasing that relationship just keeps getting amplified. And the pain in your soul from disconnecting from these people, from finding them out, is existential pain that's there for a reason. It's telling you to get the fuck away from them, to get the fuck away from people that are okay with them, to divert your attention to something else, because that's just the reality. Like, you've noticed that every time you enter that domain, that dimension of talking about them, thinking about them, putting them at the forefront of existence, and then trying to trying to convince other people that are ignorant of this phenomenon that they are in the wrong, you are putting your beautiful energy that God gives you, that life force, into a vortex that then that then squanders that energy. You keep putting your energy into an abyss, is what I'm trying to say. And the goal of recovery is to make yourself an energy harvester, a person that willfully brings energy to themselves, gives energy to people, and is able to retain their energy when confronted with toxicity on the periphery of their being. Okay? Your main problem and your main goal is that you don't have that energy, that vital force, that sense of identity that immunizes you from being affected by psychopaths. And it's just as important to be a harvester of energy as it is to protect your energy. Because a lot of gurus on this forum talk about blocking the punches of the narcissist, defending against the narcissist, trying to repel the narcissist, trying to read the narcissist. And while this is all good and well, you're still putting yourself in a position where your energy is being taken. So the question is, in your spare time, how are you going to build up your energy so that it is easier for you when confronted with energy vampirism to retain that energy, to focus on that energy, and to not give away the energy into that abyss, the narcissist layer, whatever you want to call it, that group of people that supports what the narcissist is trying to do. So that's the other side of the coin, is that no contact is very important. Removing yourself from them, from their agenda, is very important. But then how do you build up a repository of energy? And to bring this idea to light, I picked a very interesting book by Voltaire, who's a French writer, and it's a satire. It's called the Candide. If you ever heard of it, or even if you haven't heard of it, I suggest reading it to understand what I'm talking about. But basically, the main character is on a soul-searching mission to find the meaning of life, to find a philosophical template to live life by. And if you've ever been come out of these sorts of narcissistic vortexes where the narcissist has sucked you dry, that's exactly what the mission of your life becomes, because you're so lost that you cling to philosophies and theologies and etc. and metaphysics a lot of the time in order to keep your soul grounded. And in this book, and what I like about this book, the main character discovers that there is no philosophy that will basically solve all of life's problems. And he ends the book by saying that the goal of life should be to cultivate your own garden, meaning that your neighbor's garden is not going to be the same garden as you have, and that nobody really has a right to question your garden, and that the most important value in life is work. and that work creates energy. That's the main message of the Candide, and that life becomes more worth living the more you work, the more you do. And so I'm going to read the quote from the Candide. The quote goes, "This good old man," said he to Pangloss and Martin, "appears to me to have chosen for himself a lot much preferable to that of the 6 kings with whom he had the honor to sup. Neither need you tell me," said Candide, "that we must take care of our garden." "You are in the right," said Pangloss, "for when man was put into the Garden of Eden, it was with the intent to dress it, and this proves that man was not born to be idle." "Work then without disputing," said Martin. "It is the only way to render life supportable." So, the goal of a person that is coming out of these destructive relationships is to be constructive. And that's basically the main point of this quote, is that the only way you're going to immunize yourself from people that are toxic is to have your own agenda. Whatever that agenda is, it's up to you. You have to have a set of goals and principles that you continuously work on. What is it within your life that gives you energy, that fulfills, that gives your soul energy? And in my case, like I get energy a lot of the time from dogs, because when you're around dogs, they are such great motivators. They are such great pockets of energy. They give you unconditional love. And they can really teach us a lot about how to be. Because dogs always find a way to put negative experiences behind them. Let's say a dog barks at another dog. That one dog will get over the fact that they were barked at. And so that's just one source of energy, but there are multiple sources of energy that you can have, many different outlets that you have. If you've noticed, it's hard to motivate yourself to grow your garden after this relationship because you've been terrorized into thinking that there is something wrong with that it is not good, etc. So think of the narcissists as weeds, as a weed-like force. You don't want to have weeds in your garden. You don't want to have people that encourage you to put weeds into your garden. But the point is that you need a garden in order to repel weeds. You need to grow trees. You need to grow flowers. You need to grow grass. When people look at you, they need to know that things are going on in your life. That you're not just sitting idly and waiting to defend yourself against weeds. So think about what I'm saying and let me know what you think about it, because this is the missing particle within this entire process of healing from narcissists. How to get the person that was targeted to have things going on to rebuild their life. And it's very hard to do that when you don't have any sort of familial support. And that's why I'm here to offer that support and to say that this community needs to be a harbinger of support for people that are completely isolated in life. And it needs to encourage people to have those things going on. So anyway, that's all I have to say for now. Kisses.